Hey guys, Dave Thomas, BowHunterPlanet.com, and welcome to a new edition of Test Lab. On today's show, we have for you the 2017 Bear lineup. Not every bow, however, but they're two top bows, the LS6 and the Moment. Very exciting to have both these bows on the show today. I can't wait to get shooting these things and show you guys how they feel. We're going to start with the LS6 here because this is the speed bow. The LS6, or Legend series they call it, is shooting at 355 feet per second, so it's got a lot of speed and power to it. The weight is 4.2 pounds, brace height is 5 inches, axle is 32.25 inches. The peak draw weights are 55 to 70 or 45 to 60. So you got to choose there depending on what you want to do. Usually a lot of people do 60 because you can do both and they get the bigger weight, so they can go 55 to 70. Draw range is 27 to 30 inches, the let off 70%, and the suggested retail is 900. So on this bow, we're basically looking at a 5-inch brace height, which is where you're getting your speed. So that on top of 70% let off here is why you're getting it to be at 355 feet per second. Whereas the Moment, a little bit different here, but we're looking at 340 feet per second, a little bit slower. 4 pounds is a little bit lighter. 6-inch brace, so that's going to slow it down a little bit. Axle is 31, shorter, which could be the difference in that weight we were talking about. Peak draw weights on this bow are 55 to 70 or 45 to 60. And the draw range is, again, 25 to 30 inches, 80% let off, so it's going to give you a little more comfort when you have it back, and the suggested retail is 900, same price. So these two bows are the same price. The technology is very similar. We're going to get to that in a second. But what I do want to say is it depends on what you're looking for as a shooter. If you really want the speed bow or the muscle bow, you're going to definitely want the LS6. If you want a bow that's a little more of a comfort bow, still shooting 340 feet per second, you'd want the Moment. So two big decisions on you to make that decision, but I'd recommend shooting both when you get to the store to check them out. So the colors of these bows are really cool. They have a lot of great options. They have the olive green here. So this is more of a really nice, what I would say, a shadowy color, okay, because it's a little bit darker. It's not like a bright green or something, right? It's just what they call olive, which is basically a dark green, but it looks really good and it matches very well. And here we got the shadow black, which black can't go wrong. I mean, they pretty much do, any accessories can do black nowadays, so it makes it very easy for you to buy different accessories for the bow. They're also offering Realtree camo and the brown, which looks really cool in the brown. I love the brown. We've seen this a lot. We used to call it sand. They changed the name to brown, which makes more sense. It is a brownish, light brown, I would call it, but looks great. So let's scroll down and look at some of the technologies in these bows. Some of the things that are the same between the bows are things like the sonic knots. The sonic knots, which you see here, basically help with the speed of the bow, and they're gonna, they add a little weight to the string, so you're gonna come back a little bit more power, but you're also gonna quiet the string from making it. I remember, if you guys remember, they used to have the whiskers that you put on the strings. That would quiet it, but it slowed it down too much. So things like the sonic knots are what they use to make it faster and quiet it up. Great technology, works really, really good. They have the sonic bonds, I believe, coming up here, sonic bonds. So sonic bonds are built into the riser. You can see them here, and both of them have those. So you definitely want these. What that does is it stops the vibration on the bow. It also makes the bow quieter. You want the bow to be quieter because when you're shooting at a deer, and let's say you miss, or, God forbid you miss, or you have a bad shot and you have to take a second shot, that being quiet gives you that ability to do that. They also have the sonic stops on both bows. That is what you see here, and that is like a draw stop. And then basically all that does is when your string comes forward, these two pieces stop it. They help with sound, and they help with not wearing out your string over time by going past, because otherwise, if you ever see a bow shoot in super slow motion, the string will go past those and come almost all the way up to here. So, and that stretches the string in different ways. We don't want to do that, so we want to stop it right there. Getting into the grip, which is shared on both these bows, is a new grip, very exciting from Bear. They're calling it the narrow grip, and basically it's going to fit the palm a lot better. It's very narrow. It doesn't have a lot of movement to it or design to it. It's basically just a straight down line, but it feels really good in your hand. And what I'm going to like about it is it's a nice straight shot and it's comfortable because it's like a plastic material. And you're probably not gonna be able to see it on my hand. Maybe later when we shoot it, you can see it, but it's gonna fit perfectly for me. So you definitely need to shoot it and make sure you like that. But when you're holding your bow, you're supposed to hold it like this when you're shooting and try to keep your hand open and keep the pressure there. And then when you fire, you're supposed to just basically hold it as it comes down. So that right there, this grip helps you with that. It also has just a little indentation in here that's a little bit grippy, and you can hear that. So that is basically helping you get a little bit of grip on the edge with the plastic in there. Very cool. Let's talk about the cams. These bows have different cam systems. Obviously, it's what's going to make it fast. The Moment is using the new Ease hybrid cam system. The advantage to a cam like this, as you can see here in the picture, they have all this adjustability built into the cams. And this cam is on the Moment, so it's giving you, at 340 feet, you're getting a very relaxed shooting bow. But this bow has it all in the cam system. You can see here, it's telling you here what they say is there offers a super smooth draw cycle while keeping speed and accuracy. That's what you're looking for if you just want a bow that's going to be very comfortable, quick, relaxing to shoot. I mean, let's face it, you go out there to hunt, you want to just be able to just relax and take a shot. Some people are looking for distance and they're looking for power to get further at 350 plus feet per second. And you are going to need that if that's what you're looking for. If you're doing mostly deer hunting and you're just, want to be able to take some nice relaxing shots at deer, you might want to go this route with this kind of cam system. That's up to you. So moving to the LS6, let's take a look at their cam. On this one, they had a new cam called the H17 hybrid cam system. Hybrid cam system with draw dial offers easier draw cycle and letdown while delivering maximum speeds. So this is a power cam. I mean, for sure, this thing has a lot going on here. A lot of adjustability in the cam, which I love to see, but it looks like a mean cam system. I love how it drops off in the back and it becomes flat, so I can tell this bow is going to be really smoking fast just looking at the cams on it. Moving on to the hinge guard. For those who don't know what a hinge guard does, is basically what they call, some companies call it cable glide, and it basically moves your cables out of the way. When you draw your bow, the arrow comes back, the cables move, you fire, it starts to come back in, it passes and goes past it. You have to have the cables there, they have to be there because that's what a cam system does on a compound bow. Traditional bows don't have cables, but if you have cables, you gotta be able to move them out of the way of the arrow. Otherwise, they'd be right in the middle. So, they use what they call the hinge guard. Bare hinge guard reduces lateral torque while shooting. So what they mean by that is they don't want the cables torquing the bow pressure. So what they do is when they move it, they bring it back so quick, they're saying that as it gets there, it's going to be on center as the arrow comes off. So they both share that technology on the bare bow. So you get that option for both bows, no matter which one you're buying here. All right, so now we're talking about the limb pockets. They're a little bit different on these bows. They actually look identical, but they are different. The LS6 features a carbon limb pocket, while the Moment has a metal pocket. So what is the difference there? You want high strength with that carbon and you want lightness. You want to lighten it up. So you want to have both those because the problem is when they add the handle, right, they're adding weight to the bow. The bow's already at 4.2, this bow's already at 4. There are differences in the lengths and there are differences in the amount of metal on this bow. However, with this one, since they added this, they had to take weight somewhere else. So they basically added this to be carbon, which feels great, and it still adds a lot of power. Carbon's very strong material, so it's pretty much the same as steel when it comes to strength. It's very strong, lightens the bow a little bit enough just to allow them to add these extra features for you. So, all right, so enough talking about these bows. We've talked about everything here. Let's get to the shooting lane, get shooting them, and let's see how they react and how they feel, and then you guys can get a better feel if you want to get one of these bows at your local pro shop today. Chris and I had a great time shooting the new bare bows in the studio. The Moment was a great shooting bow, very smooth and forgiving, just as I thought it would be. The LS6 was extremely powerful, but a lot smoother than I thought it would be. The new cam system really did a great job, and I would definitely use this bow in the field. Not only is it smooth, but it's very powerful, and it's going to deliver huge hits in the field. It's going to give them a lot of option in the field this year, so visit BowHunterPlanet to learn more. So it's not exactly accurate in the middle, but you can see how tight the group is, and that sight's not even sighted in. I'm just like
You're watching BowHunterPlanet.com, the web's hottest source for all things bow hunting. Learn about new products on the original mini-series testlab. Enjoy hours of hunting shows from Bone Driven, Hunt Series, and Experience Wild. Join the community and take part in fun conversations and learning experiences. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and take part in our social giveaways and contests on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Learn more at BowHunterPlanet.com. Join the hunt.